Just the Tips, a Menmoir, Season 1, Lost Episodes, Friendships.
So we back with another shot. We're taking another swing at these lost episodes.
Yeah, sometimes we get kind of busy and start getting into our recording, and we forget about some of these nice quality episodes that we recorded way back in the day. But fortunately, we run into them again, and then we decide, hey, this is something you should definitely listen to.
Yeah, so this one really focuses on friendships and relationships and a little bit about conversations within your friendships. And this was one of the first segments that we did.
Yeah, we put this together months ago, and for some reason, I don't know how it got put on the back burner. And it's one of those topics that you would figure we would have put out a long time ago. But you know what? The time is now.
I don't know what we would categorize it under now. So whatever you would call it, I hope you enjoyed this last episode. And stick around at the end because you're going to hear a short little clip from our friends at the Bicker Bots Podcast where they specialize in organized chaos. And if that's your speed, you can catch them at the end of this episode. This segment is brought to you by Stan's Hot Dogs.
Now offering Stan's Special 5 corn dogs and hot dogs for $5.95.
$5.95 for 5 hot dogs?
Stan's Hot Dogs, the mystery meat that's a hell of a treat.
So with friendships, I think a very interesting thing to look at is friendships that you have before your marriage or whatever your serious relationship is or whatever, versus when you become engaged. Before you get into that upper division relationship shit, how do those friendships change?
Once I got married, 90% of those contacts maybe got completely removed from my phone. Only a handful of friends that I brought in prior to the marriage. But then I start developing new relationships, but it tends to be a lot with other married couples. I probably had no to one married couple friendship before, and then now almost all my relationships with friends are married couples. So this is part of my complaint. The type of relationships and friendships I have now, I'm hanging out with other people in their marriage. Now I feel like I'm still part of this marriage too.
And what I don't like, it's the who and then why.
Right.
Why are we kicking it with these people? And it's because you have to accommodate this other person and they got to like the other person or they got to,
Then you're tag teaming. You're basically tag teaming a friendship, making it that much more difficult to create. Now, do you get put in a situation where I actually don't like the married couple we're friends with because I wasn't part of that circle prior to that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It doesn't happen all the time. I have a lot of good relationship with friends, other married couples. That also makes it a little awkward because I'm like, why do we really hang out with these people?
I know that I don't have as much of a problem that I don't get along with the other person, but there are some instances where I'm like super cool with, let's say, Kelly's friend, but her friend's husband is not cool. Just with whatever. You. Or just in general, like just someone I would not fuck with. Like people letting out their inner racist without realizing that they're saying some of the things they're saying.
I got it. Hence, you would never be friends with this person.
I would never even fuck with them. And it's like, but I like this person.
I got you.
Like your wife is cool as shit. And she's funny and I like her, but you suck.
But yet you still have that relationship.
Not really. I just don't put myself in a position to be around someone like that or,
right.
You just start.
My point is they're still around though. So there is a probability of still having to do the married couple friends thing.
It depends. If we're not both close with both people, it lessens the chance of that having to happen. But it doesn't mean it wouldn't happen because we know the person.
But I'm saying for the one friendship though, you have to bring in the other.
Yeah.
Part of the responsibility of your friendship with this one person is on some level tolerating is what I would use this other person in their relationship, their marriage, right?
It's like the function of a wingman, except you don't have any of the benefits.
That's what I'm saying.
Like if I'm going to be a good wingman, all right, I'm going to take down the big one.
You take down the little one and everybody wins. Yeah. Not the case here.
It's a lowercase W when you're the wingman. But in this instance, you taking the L, but I can't kick it with the dude in a way that I'm getting nothing out of it.
Right.
Kelly won't let me take her friend down.
I really doubt she would.
That might be true, but if I don't tell her first, And I tell her after.
Then you will still die.
And I'll tell her, but that's the past.
That's the past. But why are you bringing up old shit? Yeah. You know what I mean? That came, that went. Leave that alone. Yeah. It was like 3 months ago. Let it go.
You want to fight over the past? You won't worry about the future.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel.
I'm trying to raise our kids to be good men. Don't judge me.
So basically, I'm not getting anything out of that. So it's not even a lowercase W is really the point.
Right.
I'm not even getting a benefit. I'm just doing something nice for two other people.
Right. See, so part of that, because you just gave an example of some of the things I don't like about being a married couple, having other married couple friends, because you run into stuff like that. But you never had that problem. You could just cut someone off immediately.
Kicking it with single people or it kind of keeps you grounded in a sense so you don't get lost in the vortex that is your marriage.
Right.
The death spiral, black hole, life sucking.
The Bermuda Triangle of...
fucking mistake. Huh? So...
Huh? If you're listening, huh?
When you're kicking it with single people, sometimes if you start listening too close and really listen to what they're saying, they're talking about nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
And this is the problem that I probably had relating to married people is I was worried about like some dumb shit and they're worried about their mortgage
or their kids.
You know what I mean? Like a fucking career life decision.
Right.
And I'm just trying to fuck someone. You know what I mean? Like I'm just trying to touch
something.
Anything.
Your wife's going to kill you.
I knew that when
You knew
I already knew. You have to understand her capabilities. She will drop mad karate on me if I was just going out and just trying to fuck. So, but that was a disconnect that I had, is that I couldn't talk to these people on their level, and I didn't kick it with married people that much because I didn't have real shit to talk about.
So I definitely want to have a whole conversation about the things you talk about as married couples. So I'll tell you what, we need to take a break, and then let's get back into the topic of the conversation you have as a married couple. This segment sponsored by Dave's Crotchless Boxer Briefs.
Sometimes you need your dick to be out.
All right, we're back from break, and the topic we're tackling is the conversations you have with other married couples. And, you know, we could also tie it into the type of conversations you have as a married couple. One of the main things I've noticed that we always talk about with other married couples, and I mean 98% of the time, is kids. Their kids, my kids, something about their kids, something they did, how good they are, how terrible they are. Either they're smart or they're annoying or how they get no free time, but it's always child related.
Always. Yep.
And honestly, it's annoying per se, but it really makes me feel like, don't we have anything else to talk about? Are we really only in this friendship because we get to complain to each other about our children?
You know, I think that that might be part of the hashtag Cluckfest.
Yeah.
You know, like the topics you must cluck about.
Right. Hashtag cluckery.
Hashtag cluckification only happens if kids is on the menu.
Right.
I don't really care about all that. Like, first of all, the people that are in that married couple friendship, whatever, are people that I really care about, and I actually care about their children. So I do care about their children, so it's not like a thing. But when I'm around other people that I work with, they want to tell us about their life.
Right.
And about their kids. So I don't mind hearing about your kids because I like them.
Right. It's just yours. You don't want to talk about those.
I don't need to tell you about my kids. You don't need to tell me about your kids. But there are two partners that we have, and they show up for the cluckery.
That's all they show up for.
And it's usually about that. Or other people that I don't really care, and they're telling me about their kids like I know their kids.
Yeah, I don't want to have that conversation all the time. You know what I mean? That's kind of the point I'm trying to make, is like,
I like you. I don't know your fucking kid.
Like, I ain't even got to ever meet him.
Yeah.
He might be 6 months old or he might be 12 years old. I have no idea how old your child is, and it doesn't really matter.
And the way you look, I can't tell how old you are. I don't know. It could be either one.
It could be either way.
6 or 16.
Exactly. Either way, it doesn't matter to me.
Don't give a shit about your kids.
So the other thing that I've noticed that married couple talks about, I would want to say even more the women, complaints about the damn relationship. They're sitting there.
Yeah.
That's all they're going to speak on. If they're hanging out together, it's about what you did wrong or what I did wrong or how annoying I am or you are. But basically, the spouse gets thrown under the bus during these conversations.
And that's true. And that's the other, if it's not about the kids, then we're going to cluck about this. And that's across the spectrum of single, divorced, married, whatever.
Anybody.
They want to talk about their relationship. But for some folks, it is their only opportunity to do so. And so it becomes the bulk of the conversations
all the time
about that. And I'll just say this. If you got some shit to say to me, you know where I live.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Don't be going over and collecting with her. Come collect it because you'll get the Pete Sampras backhand. I'll get the Agassi backhand on you. You know what I mean? Like,
you'd be like, if you go talk about me, come and tell me to my face. Like, don't complain about me somewhere else. Bring it to me. Let me know so we can address the problem.
And if it's a problem you don't want to tell me, you know what? Just cut me loose.
There it is.
Let me go.
Yeah, let me fly.
You get a check. I'll come mow the lawn. No, I won't.
But anyway, you digress.
I do. So I would definitely say that this is an issue.
Absolute issue. So only real difference of the conversations you have as a married couple with other married couples is the married couple relationship with your spouse that you talk about. The only other thing that adds to that, besides you guys complaining about each other's relationship and you guys complaining about your children together or having a conversation about your children, is the topic of work may come up, but it almost is just pretty much a vent session, which is fine. So I'm basically doing my duty. But literally those three things are the only things we're actually talking about a majority of the time.
I'm going to do a shout out to friends of ours that may listen to this.
Okay.
When we get together, do not talk to me about that motherfucking institution. You know what I mean? I'm not here to talk to you about that.
Right.
I don't want to hear about how someone took a 5-minute extra break today.
Oh, right. Or an extended lunch.
You know what I mean? Oh, this motherfucker came back 8:19.
Right.
Huh?
Overly aggressively angry about very petty shit that doesn't really matter to you because I don't work there or in your space. So it doesn't really matter.
We just left work.
Let's talk about more work.
To get this happy hour. And then you going to sit here and tell me about how you didn't enroll in your other little extra benefit on time. And now you mad at some lady in HR that just started here. I don't
want to hear none of that grown up shit.
I don't care about none of that shit.
Keep that shit to yourself.
Talk to me about some of the hoes you saw today.
Something positive. Bring some positive shit to our conversation. You know what I'm saying? The point I'm trying to make is those three things shouldn't be the only things we talk about, whether it would be other married couples or even your spouse, especially your spouse. But when the only three things we talk about is the same things, the same tired things over and over again, that's mad annoying. And I feel like why are we having this relationship with other couples if all we talking about is the same tired shit that I don't want to talk about anymore? And then we need to spice up our conversation life because I'm trying to talk about a bunch of other stuff, about different positions I could do while I'm hanging upside down from a lampshade. I'm trying to talk about real, positive, encouraging stuff to make my life much more fun.
Yeah, I want to know how bendy your leg is.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about some shit that matters.
Yeah, or some weird thing that you like to do, like why you be tugging on your weenus all the time. Like, why do you want to sit there and just yank on the skin for no reason? Like, you know, you might eat your toenails. I don't know, but let's talk about other stuff.
You know what? Like, if we sat down, you know what I want to try one day? I want to sit across from someone in a couple situation, a double date or whatever, and I just want to look at Kelly or at the person across from me or whatever and just be like, I want to fuck your wife.
I feel like you're definitely going to stir the pot. You're going to try something new.
This is going to be a nice conversation,
Let's
though.
see what happens.
It's not work.
It's not going to be the same boring shit.
It's not about kids.
It's going to be brand new.
It's about me running through new booty.
That's it. That's your whole goal in life.
And I feel like that's acceptable.
I mean, it should be, right?
How isn't it acceptable?
So this is the tip we're trying to give you today. Stop talking about the same tired shit. The same old tired shit that you have with your friends that are married. Throw some new shit out there.
Yeah.
Just make up topics to talk about. See where that takes you. You know what I'm saying? See if it'll bring something new to the relationship. If not, why the hell are you friends with these people?
And also, don't offer to bang someone's significant other.
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, but if you're down with that, let me know.
I mean, the way you said it wasn't more of an offer. It was much more of like a threat. So I feel like you'll be taken much differently
I am
than
a criminal.
to offer. It wasn't like you put on a platter like, goose this? Would you like some? That's not what you said. Like I said, you gotta pull back some of those criminal tendencies you have from your 6 to 12 states that you've done crimes in.
Well, that's why I go so far to the other direction of lightness. That's why I'm so soft. It's because I can't trust myself.
Exactly. So just to wrap it up, the tip that you're basically gonna have is throw some new shit in there. Make some new conversations with these people.
Don't be boring as fuck. Don't be boring as hell. That's really all it is. If you're going to be boring as fuck, then stay home.
Yeah, stay home, man. Just turn on the TV, eat a big-ass bowl of ice cream or some shit. Just keep your ass at the house.
I'm desperate. Tell me about your fucking hobbies.
Right. Anything at all. That's all we're saying. So we're hoping this will enrich some of your relationship, which you could also apply with your marriage. We're hoping this does something positive for you.
And we're going to do one more thing before we get up out of here, which is remind folks that we are still soliciting topic ideas, suggestions, recommendations, so on and so forth.
As soon as those emails come in, I'm just going to go ahead and delete it because I got a ton of ideas of my own, and I don't really care what you got to say. No, I'm kidding. I'm only lying. I would definitely love to hear what you got to say, and then we'll definitely bring it up. The mailbag segment is one of our favorites because we want to hear from you guys, and I feel like that's where some of these quality topics are going to come from.
So thank you again for tuning in. I'm Joe.
I'm Chuck.
And this is Just the Tips.
Deuces.
How you doing? My name's PJ. I'm from the Bicker Bots Podcast. Bicker Bots Podcast is basically what happens when you take a Republican, a Libertarian, and a Liberal and sit them all in front of the mics and discuss current events and most pop culture.
Would it be cheating to bang a smoking hot sex robot? Pack, please answer it, because I need to know.
Oh, you need to know? So we here at the Bicker Bots Podcast feel everyone's special, even the gingers. I'm going to apologize to all the ginger listeners at this time. Ray's a stout racist.
You just said they should be 50% off at the adoption homes. Just saying.
We care about worldly issues like our brothers down under and their sex-crazed koala bears. Koala chlamydia an all-time high and is spreading. Bro, get them koalas some fucking rubbers. Here at the Bicker Bots Podcast, we don't judge people based on their sexuality.
Not all of them, but
it's their version. It's not like
so
our
they
version.
have. Okay, interesting.
Oh, you're starting to think about all them catchment fucking, huh?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I listened to the bestiality episode. That was quite interesting conversation, let me tell you.
There's nothing interesting about it. It's just man, beast,
Love.
exactly.
Well, if you like what you heard, we're on Stitcher, iTunes, SoundCloud, basically any platform you can download a podcast on.